Hello and a very good morning, everyone. Welcome back to today's market outlook. My name is Edmund. So, we had a very interesting Tuesday again with the manufacturing and services PMI reports being released throughout the whole day yesterday. So, we are going to have a look at the results of the data and also how it impacted currencies such as the UK pound and also the euro dollar. So, back to today, Wednesday, 24th of June 2020. Today's economic data is rather, I would say, minor data throughout the whole day. However, if you are trading the New Zealand dollar, this morning, the Royal Bank of New Zealand announced their official cash rates at 0.25% this morning at 10 a.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. Okay, so this data was announced this morning at 10 a.m. At 10 a.m. Here we go. No changes in the official cash rate at 0.25%. At the time of announcement, the New Zealand dollar actually weakened. As we can see over here, this is the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar, and at this candle, again the time here is 5:00. So if you're in Malaysia or Singapore, you will add 5 hours to this, so 5 plus 5 is 10 a.m. Okay, again this is when the rate statement was announced. So when it was announced, it dropped about not too much, about 45 pips, and then retraced back, and currently it's going sideways. So there was I don't follow the New Zealand dollar that well, but yesterday the New Zealand dollar broke through its bullish trend line yesterday at about 2200 hours, which is 20 plus 5 27, which is about minus 24 3 a.m. Singapore time yesterday. Okay, so ever since then it has been on a slightly bearish sentiment, and when the announcement was made this morning, it went down a further 45 pips. Okay, so that was this morning's economic data. Moving forward, later on at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, we will be having the Credit Suisse economic expectations report. No major impact, I would say, on the Swiss franc or the euro dollar, unless there's a major change in the interest rates again. However, if there's no changes in interest rates, probably it will not really affect the Swiss franc that much. Okay, at 4 p.m. also, Germany will be releasing the business climate data, and towards the evening at about 9 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time, the National Bank of Belgium will be releasing their business climate report also. Towards 9 p.m. also, we will be having the house price index numbers. This should not be having a major impact on the US dollar. And towards 10:30 p.m., we will be having the crude oil inventories. Okay, so crude oil inventories, markets are expecting the crude oil numbers to come in at 1.2 million barrels of crude oil. I mean, the markets are expecting the inventories to show not more than 1.2 million barrels of crude oil. If the numbers come above 1.2 million, it means that there are more supplies of crude oil than markets expect, and theoretically it should be bearish for the crude oil prices. Okay, theoretically, so be very careful on this. Later on towards 10:30 p.m, just watch and analyze the crude oil prices, whether it is still going up or down. But as of this morning, or rather as of yesterday evening, crude oil prices has broken through the bullish trend line. Okay, so yesterday at about 2000 hours plus 5, 25 minus 24, which is 1 a.m. Local Singapore time. This is the US West Texas Instruments spot prices has broken down from its bullish trend line. So technically it is slightly bearish at the moment. So we gotta have a look and see later on whether it will break down from this horizontal support line. Okay, so so this is H4 D1. Yep, so technically it's slightly bearish now. So coming back to the economic calendar, Yeah, so this morning you already saw the New Zealand dollar moving further down at 10 a.m. after breaking through the bullish trend line yesterday morning. And of course, crude oil prices also, as we are speaking, has broken through the bullish trend line also. So it is slightly on the bearish sentiment. Okay, so other major events which occurred over the last 24 hours. The US dollar traded relatively weak yesterday, with the US dollar index moving down for the second consecutive day. Here we go. So we're going to analyze this in detail later on the technical charts analysis. And of course, yesterday's economic calendar, as mentioned just now, the main focus was on the manufacturing and services purchasing managers index, we call it PMI, reports which was announced throughout Europe, UK, and also US yesterday. Okay, so when we have a look at the results of the data, of course, Germany and France also announced their manufacturing and services PMI numbers, but the main focus was on the Eurozone, the main data, which improved to 47.4, and for the UK economy, manufacturing rose to 50.1, and for the US, manufacturing activity rose to 49.6. Okay, so all these major economies showed very good economic data. Okay, here we go. Just have a quick look at for France. It improved to 50.3. Not only was it better than market expectations of 44.9, it was also technically any reading above 50 represents an expansion. Any reading below 50 represents a contraction. Okay, so in other words, not only did the French services and manufacturing PMIs beat the market forecast, it also went into expansion territory. Okay, a reading above 50. So in other words, it's extremely bullish economic data. Germany announced manufacturing and services also coming in better than market expectations. However, it is still below the 50 level, and yeah, as long as it's slightly better than market expectations, theoretically we should see the euro dollar strengthening. Okay, in yesterday's case, yes, the euro dollar strengthened all the way, continuing its bullish run from from Monday. Okay, from Monday was going up, and yesterday, as the data was being released, as early as 9 plus 5, this is 14, which is 2 p.m. As early as 2 p.m, we can see the euro dollar moving up 46 pips, and later on moving up another 50 pips. Okay, so altogether from 2 p.m. onwards, the euro dollar moved up about 91 pips. Okay, so yeah, other data coming out from the UK. The UK's manufacturing services PMI numbers also came in better than market expectations, and for the manufacturing data, it came in above 50. Okay, came in at 50.1. US manufacturing PMI, slight, I would say just very slight marginal disappointment, just a tad below market expectations of a reading of 50. It came in at 49.6, and for the services PMI, it also came in just a little bit under market expectations, coming in at 46.7. Okay, so overall, throughout the day, the US dollar was bearish, okay, weak, and on the H4 charts, we can see that the US dollar is coming back into a consolidation phase on the H4 charts. Okay, so moving on to other relevant news throughout the last 24 hours. Again, ever since the 11th of June, we can see that there is a spike in new coronavirus cases in the US, and this latest report confirms that. This is by the Johns Hopkins University in the US, and they reported that COVID-19 cases in the US increased by about 35,695 individuals, okay, to a total of 2.33 million as of Monday, 22nd of June. So that was just 2 days ago, and this spike in the number of COVID cases represents a 1.6% spike, which was higher than the daily average of 1.3%. Okay, So yeah, so new cases are jumping up higher than market expectations or the average. And of course, death tolls from the coronavirus pandemic or the virus in the US alone has rose by 0.7% to, to surpass the 120,000 figure. Okay, so yeah, the situation in the US is still largely not improving or not under control. So that is one of the main reasons why gold prices has been bullish for the last couple of weeks. Okay, so we can see this. So yeah, so that will cover our economic events and market drivers for today. Again, no major economic data. Just watch out for the usual 2 to 4 p.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. Trading hours. This is in local Singapore and Malaysia time, and that is where we expect more movements coming out for the currencies and for commodities. So let us move on to the technical charts analysis section to understand to understand in more detail of the price movements for yesterday.